Hi folks, Curtis Bateson here with Tykes Bikes. I'm the owner of Tykes Bikes, and I want to thank you and congratulate you for buying a Tykes bike. I know your child will love their bike and so will you. Today we are going to do the assembly of your bike if you've ordered it in a box. So inside the box, 2 tires, of course, the seat, handlebars, front forks, and the frame. The only tool you will need is a 13 mil wrench to tighten the nuts on the wheels. Okay, you can use a socket or just an open-ended 13 millimeter wrench. So first thing we do is we want to install the tires. So take your front forks and place them in your legs. It's a little easier to do. On each one of the wheels, both sides is a nut. Okay, a little nut and a lock washer. All right, so take both off each side. You can drop the nut like I do almost every time. You want these nuts that are on here to be a little bit loose, all right? So that allows the wheel to spin freely when you crank the nuts on with the lock washer, okay? So it'll sit on there. You don't want these too tight. You want these two to be just a little bit loose, all right? And then that goes on. And you put your lock washer on, okay? And then the nut. Now we're just going to hand tighten these for now. The lock washer again. It has a little tab that slides into this hole to lock the nut in place. All right, so just hand tighten that for now. And that's the front wheel installed. And then we take our frame and we're going to do the same with the back wheel. The nuts off, lock washer, nut off. See, every time. Lock washer, and then again, this to just be a little bit loose. So tighten that up and loosen it off just a little bit. All right, slides in, lock washer, lock washer, nut, hand tighten that. Okay, so then what I like to do is turn the bike around, take my front wheel and forks, and you notice there's 2 washers, a large washer and a smaller, thinner washer. So we want to crank off the quick release because that's what holds it all together after we put it together. Take that off. Take off the big washer, all right? And then we're gonna slide that through the neck of the frame. Now you can put the bike down and hold it in between your feet. Put the big washer back on, that's that one, back on. And then you put your quick release on. Make sure that's secure. Sometimes this will get a little loose, but I'll show you how to tighten that in just a second. So we take our handlebars, put them in, boom, and then you can tighten it as much as you can, then turn it sideways and then crank your quick release tight. Get it in line, crank, nice and secure. There is a little bit of play in it, but these are actual bearings in the bushings, so this is going to last for a very long time. They're not cheap. And then we put our seat on. The quick release for the seat and the quick release for the handlebar are not interchangeable. They are different. So on the quick release and the seat, there's a little cuff that allows it to sit on top of the pole. Okay, and it's tight now, but again, put your seat in, crank that tight, make sure it's nice and tight. You just have to crank it backwards. Put your seat at the desired location. which should be in your child's crotch with straight legs. We don't want to have space in between the seat, so we don't want your child to be bending down to reach the seat, but we don't want the seat to be right up in the crotch. All right? Put it at the desired length or height, and then crank it tight. The nuts with your 13 mil wrench. We don't want to over tighten, but good solid crank on them just to make sure they're tight. And you always want to do this, not always, but always want to check them. Just like any bike, you want to make sure the nuts and the quick release are tight and secure. Just check them every once in a while. And that's it. You'll notice as well that the seat and the handlebar are at different intervals. This allows your child to stand upright. So the handlebars can be adjusted as well if you're adjusting the seat for height. The product comes with a 3-year unconditional warranty. And when I say unconditional, I mean unconditional. I want your child to have a bike for 3 years that doesn't break. If you run it over in the driveway, let me know. I'll give you the parts that you need, or even a new bike if that's what it takes. Thank you very much for purchasing your Tykes bikes. Give me a call or a text or an email if you have any questions at all. Thank you.